no one is afraid of trans people.
Yep. That's why there's no controversy whatsoever about having them in women's spaces. No controversy whatsoever.
There was a gender non-conforming boy in a dress who went into a girl's restroom and violently raped a young girl. After that happened, that's when the school district decided, oh, you know what? Now we're going to open up the restrooms and invite the boys in with the girls. Now, here's what happens. Because we hear a lot about, well, gender nonconforming people, transgender people, it makes them feel bad if they're not given access to the bathrooms they want. Well, okay, so they have their feelings. What about the feelings of the girls who are getting raped?
That's what you're supporting by obfuscating from the truth, which is that this whole movement exists as a way for men to get away with sex crimes.
My daughter would not feel safe or secure if she had to share a bathroom or a gender-neutral locker room with boys. Gender-neutral bathrooms, which they're doing at the school district next to us, and they're doing that throughout the country, and gender-neutral bathrooms and locker rooms, and that's just not safe. That is a dangerous situation to keep them combined in the same space.
There are many girls and many women who are speaking out and saying, we want privacy in our facilities. We don't want a man in the bathroom with us. And then what we hear
Both
from
people want privacy in the bathroom.
what we hear from this side.
I did not say that we want open bathrooms where anyone can go in.
What we hear from this side is that, well, their feelings don't matter. We're not going. Who cares? You just have to deal with it, right? Because the transgender people, the gender nonconforming people, it's their feelings that take priority.
Because I'm not a transphobe at all. And when I say I'm not a transphobe, I'm not saying it to gain your approval or to convince you that I'm not bigoted. Yeah, I couldn't give a less of a damn if you think that I'm bigoted or not. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I am instead concerned with definitions, and the definition of phobia is irrational fear. I'm not afraid of trans people.
Right. I care about children, and these insane ideas about gender are being foisted on kids, and that bothers me quite a bit. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them.
I'm not afraid of trans people.
What about the feelings of the girls who are getting raped?
I'm not afraid of trans people.
A gender non-conforming boy in a dress who went into a girl's restroom and violently raped a young girl.
I'm not afraid of trans people.
What if we were talking about black people instead of trans people?
There was this black guy who went into a restroom and violently raped a young white person. After that happened, that's when the school district decided, oh, you know what? Now we're going to open up the restrooms and invite the blacks in with the whites. And here's what happens. Because we hear a lot about, well, it makes black people feel bad if they're not getting access to the bathrooms they want. Well, okay, so they have their feelings. What about the feelings of the whites who are getting raped?
That's what you're supporting by obfuscating from the truth, which is that this whole movement exists as a way for blacks to get away with sex crimes.
My white offspring would not feel safe or secure if they had to share a bathroom or a race-neutral locker room with blacks. Race-neutral bathrooms, which they're doing at the school district next to us, and they're doing that throughout the country, and race-neutral bathrooms and locker rooms, and that's just not safe. That is a dangerous situation to keep them combined in the same space.
There are many white kids and many white adults who are speaking out and saying, we want privacy in our facilities. We don't want a black person in the bathroom with us.
Those people want privacy in the bathroom. I did not say we want open bathrooms where anyone can go in.
What we hear from this side is that, well, their feelings don't matter. We're not going to, you just have to deal with it, right? Because the black people, the African Americans, it's their feelings that take priority. I care about children, and these insane ideas about race are being foisted on kids. That bothers me quite a bit. I care about the whites who are having their opportunities stolen from them. I'm not racist.
And of course, the point here is that if you were to talk about black people like that, it would definitely come across as pretty racist. Oh, and for anyone who doesn't know, we did once upon a time have racially segregated bathrooms here in the United States, and allowing all races to share the same bathrooms did make some people worry about their safety. Yet, here we are, and it's normal now. Look, I'm all for building more bathrooms and building better bathrooms that provide more privacy, right? You go in and lock the door behind you. There's one toilet, one sink. You're in there all alone. You don't have to be in there with anyone else. You just do your business, you get out, and then if someone else needs a turn after you, they can just go in when you're done. But hopefully there'll be enough bathrooms that nobody has to wait their turn. Now, that being said, until this particular approach to bathrooms has been fully implemented across the country and around the world, many public areas are just going to have a men's room and a ladies' room. And there's not really a good reason to treat every trans and non-binary person out there like they're a fucking rapist. Innocent until proven guilty, remember? Keep in mind, trans people aren't some criminal organization. They're just people that were born different. Genotypic sex, phenotypic sex, and brain sex are usually in agreement about what an individual's biological sex is, but not in trans people.
It turns out that the precursor genitals transform into either female or male during the first trimester of pregnancy. The precursor brains, on the other hand, transform into female or male during the second trimester of pregnancy. So the current working model is that a unique mix in my mom's womb caused the precursor genitals to transform one way, but the precursor brains to transform the other way.
And this does happen. If those little gonads don't produce enough testosterone, so there isn't enough to get into the brain and thereby be converted within certain groups of neurons into estradiol, that male will develop a female brain.
If you are a transgender woman, your brain is much more aligned functionally with a straight female than it is with a male.
So if they're part male, part female, which bathroom should they use in situations where only 2 bathrooms are available? If there's only a men's room and a ladies' room, do we say you can't use the men's room because you're part woman, and you can't use the ladies' room because you're part man? Are we just going to tell them, tough shit, no bathroom for you? Is that what we do there? Just tell them, go in the bushes. Maybe bring your own toilet wherever you go. Carry a little pot around to pissing in front of everyone else because you can't use the bathrooms. I don't think the transphobes are thinking this shit through.
I'm not afraid of trans people. If I was, I wouldn't spend so much of my time saying things that I know will make you angry. My fear, and it is not irrational, is of the effect that trans propaganda has on society, and especially on kids.
Or in other words, he's not afraid of pissing off trans people, but he is still afraid of how they're going to affect society, which means he's still afraid of them. Being afraid of something or someone doesn't have to mean you're afraid of pissing them off. It doesn't require fear of physical harm, sickness, or injury. We can fear a loss of reputation, a loss of confidence, a loss of happiness, a loss of money, a loss of time. We can fear a conversation with an overbearing boss or obnoxious coworker, or an annoying customer. I could go on. Point is, if you're afraid of how trans people are going to affect society, or you're worried that they're going to go into a girl's bathroom and rape someone, it kind of sounds like you're afraid of trans people.
So I've noticed an interesting phenomenon online. Everybody keeps saying, let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon. And so now it has become a sensation on media. I see it in our comment section. I see it in everybody's comment section. Brandon. Let's go Brandon. I was like, what is going on with this? I was like, who is Brandon? What's happening?
I wonder if Brandon's going to run for president.
Brandon is the embodiment of the new American dream, where everything's free. That means he's an incredibly good person, far better than you are.